Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to everyone. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, it's Santa back again to wish everyone a Merry Christmas for 2021. Coming you this year from my toy shop up in the North Pole. And I especially wanted to say hello to all of my friends at Legal Aid. Ho, ho, ho. We know we've had a difficult 2021, another difficult year. But Santa didn't want to forget his friends. He wanted to bring presents for all the good boys and girls at Legal Aid. And he's even brought presents for the rest of you. And of course, you know who you are. So without further delay, Santa wanted to start remembering the Legal Aid people by mentioning Karen, our office manager. Now, Karen spent 2001 worried about everyone, setting up precautions so that everyone would be safe, listening to everyone's troubles. Karen has a reputation for having the door to her office open all the time to listen to any of the employees that are having personal or professional problems or difficulties with the technology. Karen's always there to help. She's always available. She'll put aside whatever she's doing and listen as long as needed to the concerns of her fellow workers. And we all appreciate that work, Karen. You did a great job. Santa also knows that before Karen comes to work, she takes care of a group of cats that she's very worried about at home, and then has to leave them during the day to be at the office. So we know Karen is worried about the safety of her cats while she's at work, and Santa wanted to bring her something to ease her mind a little bit. So Santa has brought for her a book entitled How to Talk to Your Cat About Online Predators. How to Talk to Your Cat About Online Predators, Karen. And that way you don't have to worry about your cats getting in trouble while you're at work. That'll be very helpful in 2022. Santa also knows that Karen worries about all the accumulation of cat hair in the house that develops because of these cats that she takes care of. And rather than having to vacuum every day, Santa thought it would be a good idea if she could do something constructive with all that cat hair. So Santa has also brought for Karen a book entitled Crafting with Cat Hair. Crafting with Cat Hair. That way she can make use of all the hair that accumulates in her home during the day while she's at work. And over on the back of the book, you see, there's a picture of a beautiful little cat, and it says, "Got fur balls." So that's also for you, Karen, to make your life a lot easier in 2022. Now, outside of Karen's office at the front desk is Alexandra. And Alexandra had a pleasant, a happy experience in 2021 where she and her husband and their blended family of 5 children moved into a new home. And it's always important when you move into a new home that the children feel that they're loved and cared for, but they have to remember that there's responsibilities in the house. So for Alex, Santa has brought a sign to put up in the new house to remind the children of what the situation is. And the sign says, "Bed and breakfast, you make both. Bed and breakfast, you make both." That's for your house, Alex. Of course, Alex is also famous for walking around the office and keeping an eye on everyone, watching who's working and who's not, keeping track of what time people come into the office every day. And she'll occasionally make a comment to people about how late they are or how little they're working. And we thought that maybe Santa could find something to improve her job performance for 2022. So Santa has brought her a sign to put up over her desk to remind her how to improve her job performance in 2022. And the sign says, please be kind to your coworkers. Please be kind to your coworkers, Alex. That's for you to improve your job performance in 2022. I'm sure that will be very, very helpful for you. Next comes Roxanne, the assistant office manager. And Roxanne was celebrated last year for being the mother of daughters. Somehow in 2021, she was celebrated for becoming the grandmother. And this was the year of the grandmother for Roxanne. So Santa got for her this year a shirt which says, Grandma knows everything. Now, where's my glasses? All right, that's for Roxanne. Grandma knows everything, but where's my glasses? And that's for you, Roxanne. And of course, the answer, Roxanne, is they're called cheaters, and you can get them in any drugstore. So have a good 2022, Roxanne. Now, if there was anybody that needed a glass of wine after 2021, and we know a lot of the people at Legal Aid need a glass of wine at the end of the day, but there was one person especially that needed a glass of wine to say goodbye to 2021. It was Gail. So Santa got for Gail a special mask that says, "Will remove for wine." Will remove for wine. That's for you, Gail, in 2022, with best wishes that you have a terrific 2022 with lots of wonderful things happening for you. Now, then we have Mindy. And Mindy is the youngest employee in the support staff. And she's managed to make another year at Legal Aid, which is quite remarkable. But we know that Mindy came from the Bronx, and she still likes to go down to the Bronx on the weekend to see her friends. So Santa got for her a shirt that says, "You can take the girl out of the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out of the girl." And that's for Mindy, to celebrate the fact that 2022, you can't take the Bronx out of the girl. Have a great 2022, Mindy. That's for you. Then next to Mindy, we have Gladys. Now, Gladys is a little difficult to shop for because no matter what goes on, she's always upbeat and happy at work. No one can understand why. There's really no reason for that. We've tried to tone her down a little bit in the past by giving her movies to watch, like Terms of Endearment or Sophie's Choice. It didn't affect her at all. She still comes in and she's quite happy to be there. So we're going to designate Gladys the cheer coach in the office, the cheer coach. So Santa has gotten for her a button for her phone which designates her as the cheer coach at Legal Aid. So that's your responsibility in 2022, Gladys. And we hope you live up to it, and good luck. Next, there's Loida. And of course, when you think of Loida, you think of people that set up a retirement fund or a vacation fund. Loida's a little different. Loida sets up a shoe fund, okay? So for Loida, Santa has brought a coffee mug that says, "Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy shoes," which is pretty much the same thing. And that will designate and pretty much sum up Loida's approach. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy shoes, which is pretty much the same thing. So that's for you, Loida. Have a great 2022. Now, we get to Mike Davis, probably one of the hardest working attorneys in the office. Between Mike and David Aikman and Neil Toomey, these are the hard-working backbone of the office. These are the guys that are there plugging away. And in 2021, Mike pretty much spent the year in his office doing virtual courts, a variety of virtual courts. Anybody that needed a lawyer in a virtual court, Mike was there. The only time you'd see Mike come out was he'd walk into the kitchen, pick up a couple of big handfuls of saltine crackers, and that would be his lunch, and he'd run back to the office and do more virtual court. So for Mike, Santa has brought a t-shirt to commemorate what for Mike in 2021 was the year of the saltine. And that's for you, Mike. That's to commemorate the year of the saltine cracker 2021, where you basically did virtual court and just ate saltines. So better luck in 2022, Mike, and Santa might suggest that you get your blood pressure checked at the same time. Now we come to Neil Toomey, very generous guy. Neil frequently comes into the office with gifts for everyone. He brings in clothes, suits, bicycles, you name it. Whatever he's got, he'll bring it in to give away to the people in the office. But primarily, Neil gives away baked goods, breads for the secretaries. As a matter of fact, in 2021, the secretaries never had to buy any bread at all because Neil would bring in bread on a regular basis and provide them with enough bread for the whole year. So I know the secretaries referred to him as a Wonder Boy because of that. So Santa has brought for him a Wonder Bread shirt to commemorate the fact that in 2021, as in past years, he provided all the secretaries with as much bread as they could eat, and even more sometimes. Now, in 2021, Legal Aid brought in a whole group of new lawyers, and we were very lucky because we brought in a bunch of top-notch lawyers. Every single one of them was great. They're a great addition to the office and really added to the status of the office with these new lawyers. And one of them was a fellow named Chris Pizzullo. And Chris was settled into an office right across the hall from Colleen Foley. And since he got in the office, he had a habit, he and Colleen, of talking back and forth to one another while they're still sitting at their desk. They didn't even have to get up and walk over to one another's office. They could sit there and talk right through the hall and discuss anything that had to be discussed. And that was great, except that it did tend to disturb people like Neil Toomey and David Aikman, who were down in the hall and were trying to get their work done. So Santa has brought for Chris for 2022 to improve his job performance a book called My First Book of Sign Language. My First Book of Sign Language. And this is for Chris so that he and Colleen maybe can converse with sign language instead of talking back and forth to one another. And Santa knew that this was the right gift for Chris because right on the cover is the picture of the little boy, who would be Chris, the little girl, who would be Colleen Foley, who he's talking to, and also another little girl who is probably Colleen Decker, who is frequently in the office with him. So that is for Chris for 2022 to improve his job performance. Speaking of Colleen Foley, another year where Colleen didn't get an opportunity to bake the wonderful cookies and cupcakes and cakes that she made for everyone, that everyone looks forward to, but with the pandemic, wasn't able to do it. But that doesn't stop Santa, because we know that Colleen is the person who makes us all happy with her baked goods. And so we got for Colleen a shirt that says, I bake people happy. I bake people happy. And there's all the goodies that Colleen used to make in the old days before we had a pandemic. Of course, now she just goes to DeFilippi's, which we also appreciate. But that's a reminder that we remember Colleen as the person who bakes people happy. Now, Santa would be remiss if he didn't mention that Colleen is also one of the hardest workers in the office, much like Mike Davis and David Aikman and Neil Toomey. She spends long hours in the office working on files, going over files, calling clients, discussing their problems at length. And to improve her job performance in 2022, Santa has brought her also a book. And it's a book called How to Save the World. It's a book for Colleen, How to Save the World. And actually, there's a picture of Colleen right on the front. How to Save the World. That's for Colleen Foley to help her achieve her goal in 2022 of saving the world. And Santa, because this is special, has inscribed it as follows. It says, Christmas 2021. That's when she's getting this book. It says, Christmas 2021, and it says, it's a famous quote from Confucius, by the way. It says, let the clients get the ulcers. Let the clients get the ulcers, Colleen. So that'll help you in your quest to save the world in 2022, Colleen, and good luck with that. Next, we come to Paul Bright. Paul shows up at the office with some contraption on the back of his car. It looks as though he's about to take off into outer space. It turns out it's really only a bicycle rack. It's just a complicated one. So Santa knows that Paul is a guy that spends a lot of time riding his bicycle. It's probably to compensate for the fact that he's not a very good golfer. But for Paul, Santa has brought a shirt that says, never underestimate an old guy on a bicycle. Never underestimate an old guy on a bicycle. And you certainly can't underestimate a guy like Paul Bright. We're very lucky to have him in the office. That's for you, Paul, for 2022, and best of luck with that. They also give golf lessons at these courses, just in case you didn't know. Okay, now, David Lendine. Now, David had a rather embarrassing situation occur to him in 2021. He was doing a virtual court appearance with a client from the jail, and when the client signed on, he didn't realize he had the audio on. And the first thing he said was, David Lendine, I hate that guy. Now, we know that Dave is a guy that takes this stuff to heart, and we don't want that to happen to him in 2022. So Santa thought it would be a good idea to give David for Christmas a disguise that he can wear when he does his virtual appearances. So in 2022, this is a gift for Mr. Lendine to use when he's doing his virtual court appearances. It'll prevent those kind of unpleasant situations from happening, and I'm sure it'll be very helpful for Dave in 2022, and best of luck with that. So, then we come to the aforementioned Colleen Decker. She's also a new attorney in the office. We're lucky to have her, a very good lawyer, a terrific colleague to work with. She also had a pleasant event occur in 2021. She got married. So to commemorate the fact that in 2021, Colleen got married, Santa has brought her a shirt which says on it, I got one. There it is. That's for Colleen Decker, because in 2021, she was married. So that's for you, Colleen, for 2022, and all best wishes to you. Now, speaking of married, another of the attorneys got married in 2021, and that would be Alex McManus. So we all wish Colleen and Alex all the best. We're very happy for both of them. But for Alex, being a married man now, you're going to have to learn some new vocabulary. And Santa wanted to give you something to help you in that regard. We got you this coffee mug that says on it, let me ask my wife. Let me ask my wife. And we got you that because this is an expression you're going to have to remember to use. For example, when someone says, do you want to go out for a drink after work? Or do you want to go to the ball game on the weekend? Or do you want to go to the strip club after court? Remember, the answer is, let me ask my wife. Okay, that's the appropriate thing to say in those situations, Alex. And by the way, I want to let you know that this came highly recommended by Brian Conway, who says that since he got married in September, he's used this expression several times every week to keep him out of the doghouse. So that's for you, Alex. Let me ask my wife. Now, Kate Bellingham was famous in 2021 for losing a great deal of weight. And while everybody else was putting on weight, working from home, Kate was actually dropping a lot of weight. And people wondered, why did she do that and how did she do that? Well, Santa knows how she did it. Santa knows that Kate knew that eventually she was going to have to go back into the courtroom and try cases, and she would have to fit into her old wardrobe. So for Christmas 2021, Santa has brought for Kate a shirt with her motto that pushed her to lose all the weight. And it says, "If my clothes fit, acquit. If my clothes fit, acquit." And that's what pushed Kate on to drop all the weight so that she would be ready to go back into court in 2022 and get those acquittals. So good luck to you, Kate. We know it's going to work out really well. Then we have Gene. Gene, during 2001, adopted a rescue dog and had to spend a lot of time training it. A beautiful little dog, but he needed some training. And Gene worked very hard to get the dog trained and did a great job. So now that she's trained the dog, it's time to work on the husband, Harvey. So Santa has brought for Gene a book called How to Make Your Man Behave in 21 Days or Less, using the secrets of professional dog trainers. So this will enable Gene then to use the same techniques that she used to train her dog to train her husband, Harvey, which I think will be very effective. Santa knows Harvey for about 30 years, and it won't be an easy task, but I think you'll find the tools you'll need here, Gene, to complete the task in 2022. So good luck to you, Gene. Now also, Santa thought that since Gene is off at work every day and the puppy is left at home, there might be some kind of way to accomplish two tasks at once. And so for Gene, Santa has also brought a present called the Dog Sweep. These are four dust boots to put on your little dog while he's home during the day and you're working. And this way, as the dog walks around the house, he dusts your floor for you. Very, very helpful invention that will work great for you, Gene, in 2022. Make life easier for you. Now, the next person, I guess, is Dennis McCormick. Now, Dennis has been with the Society a long time. He's an esteemed trial lawyer, a great lawyer, highly thought of in the profession. And one of the things people keep asking is, when do you think Dennis is going to retire? I mean, it's been quite a while. Well, Santa knows that maybe the thing that's holding Dennis back is the fact that his lovely wife has been retired for some time and is more than happy to push him out of the door every day so that she can enjoy her retirement. So to get Dennis moving toward that big day, Santa has bought a book called Living Together After Retirement, or There's a Spouse in My House. And it's a guide for how to retire, okay, and move in with the spouse who's been happily retired for some time. So not that you have to think about that right away, Dennis. Hopefully you have many more years working at Legal Aid. We'd certainly miss you. But when the day comes, you're going to want to refer to that book. Now, we also brought in two new lawyers, Mary and Mike. Mike Pizzullo. Mike Pizzullo? Mike Pizzullo we've already had, okay? So let's get it together here, Santa, because, Mike Ferraro. Okay, so another Mike. There's a bunch of Mikes, okay? So let's just leave it at this. Mary and Mike came in, two lawyers, and the interesting thing about them is that Mike is Mary's son-in-law, and of course that means that Mary is his mother-in-law. And they came in. They're a great addition to the office, but apparently we had to suspend the nepotism rules to bring them in 2021. But we're happy to have them. So we wanted to get them something special because of their family relationship. We know that they'll be getting together frequently at family gatherings, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc., etc., etc. So for Mike, we got this shirt that says, "I don't need Google. I don't need Google." And on the back it says, "My mother-in-law knows everything. My mother-in-law knows everything." That's for you in 2022, Mike. That's for you to wear, like on Thanksgiving when you get over at the in-laws' house. Something special for the holidays. So we don't want to leave Mary out either, because she's going to need something special to wear at the family get-together. So we got for her a shirt that says, "I only took this job so legal aid would hire my son-in-law. I only took this job so legal aid would hire my son-in-law." And that's for you, Mary, for Thanksgiving dinner with the family. It'll be a great conversation piece in 2022. So best of all, everything for the two of you. Keep up the good work. Now, let's see. Oh, we had one lawyer that retired very precipitously. Donnie left, didn't have a going away party, didn't have a luncheon, didn't have a cake, didn't have anything. One day she was here, the next day she was gone. The only problem was that Donnie, when she left, did not fill out the official legal aid retirement papers. So Santa got a copy of them for her, and we're going to send her the official legal aid retirement papers for her to fill out and return to the office. So Santa will get that to Donnie, even though she's not in the office, for her to fill out those retirement papers. And then, of course, we have our boss, Gary. And Gary was instrumental in leading us through this pandemic, keeping us all safe in 2021. We all appreciate his steady hand in guiding the ship of legal aid to a safe port at the end of 2021. So for Gary, we got him a coffee mug that says on it, "A boss like you is harder to find than toilet paper during the pandemic." A boss like you is harder to find than toilet paper during the pandemic. And that's pretty much for Gary to express our appreciation for how he ran the office during 2021 and kept us all safe. Thank you, Gary. Now we go down to Chris Cardinal. And Chris is another one of those hardworking guys like Colleen Foley and Mike Davis and David Aikman and Neil Toomey. And Chris moved on this year from working in the local court to working in the county court where the more serious cases are. So Chris is going to be faced with some new problems and new issues as a lawyer in county court. And we wanted to bring him something special to help him navigate his way through that in 2022. So we got for Chris this cap that says, "I'm a lawyer, not a magician." I'm a lawyer, not a magician. That's for Chris Cardinal to assist him and remind him what he has to do in county court in 2022. Good luck to you, Chris. We're all behind you. Okay? Okay, now we have Maria. Maria has been a supervisor for many years, and she's a real asset to the office. She's actually an entrepreneur. She wrote a book on the practice of law, and she's also someone that enjoys a glass of wine after work, like many of the other people in the office. And so for Maria, Santa brought a wine glass that says, "We'll give legal advice for wine." We'll give legal advice for wine, and that's for Maria. So if you need legal advice, then get a bottle of wine and go see Maria. Okay? Good luck, Maria, in 2022. We also have a new lawyer named Lori, who came from the prosecutor's office, worked many years there, and now she's working with us. We're lucky to have her as well. And of course, for Lori, it's a bit of an adjustment because now she has to deal with clients, okay? And of course, as a prosecutor, she didn't have to deal so much with the clients, but now she has to deal with clients. So for Lori, we got her a wine glass as well. And it kind of sums up why she needs to have a big glass of wine at the end of the day. And it says on it, because clients. This is why you need a glass of wine when you go home at the end of the day, Lori. Clients. So good luck with that. Now just don't fill it right up to the brink. Just fill it up twice or 3 times. Okay, Lori? Good luck. We're lucky to have you in 2022. Now again, we get Marcia. Marcia came back to Legal Aid. She's new this in 2021, but she had been there years before, had many years out in the private world, came back to Legal Aid. And of course, that's a bit of an adjustment because you kind of forget what it's like being a legal aid attorney. So for Marcia, we got a coffee mug, and it reminds her of what it's like to be working at Legal Aid. It says on it, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your lawyer told you to do the first time. If at first you don't succeed, try doing what your lawyer told you to do the first time. And that's for Marcia. That's a little motto for her to remember in 2022. Now, for Sal, who does a lot of our investigating and interviews, he had an especially difficult year. We wanted to give him something special to remind him of the year that we've just been through, in the hope that we'll have a better one in 2022. So for Sal, Santa has brought a book entitled Never Underestimate an Interviewer Who Survived the 2021 Pandemic. Never underestimate an interviewer who survived the 2021 pandemic. And that's for Sal because thankfully he did survive the pandemic in 2021. And we're happy to have him with us. We're looking forward to another great year with Sal. Hopefully, Sal and everyone else is going to remain safe during the year. Now we get to Mike Ferraro. Mike Ferraro is a lawyer that runs all over. We see Mike in all the local courts. He doesn't stop. He's like a real dynamo. And he's a guy that may have a problem stopping and have one of those glasses of wine like Maria or Lori have. So for Mike, we got what's called the Remote Control Wine Nanny. And this is a contraption where you install the wine bottle on the stand, you hook up the tube, and you can operate it by remote control so that you can actually sit at your desk like this gentleman with the wine nanny, and you don't have to take a break to pour a glass of wine. You just get your wine directly from the wine nanny. I think that'll come in very handy for Mike in 2022. Just don't overuse it, buddy. Okay? There you go. Okay, now, Eric and Zonka. Now, Eric's a guy who's been with the society a long time. He's fulfilled a lot of roles working in town and village court, county court, family court, you name it. He's been all over, tried a lot of cases. And the thing about Eric is he tends to be a little sarcastic, and people say, why is that guy so sarcastic? Why is he like that? Well, Santa knows why. I mean, after so many years at Legal Aid and handling so many cases, that's what he's left with, is sarcasm. So to explain that to people, Santa has got for Eric a coffee mug that says, I'm a lawyer. My level of sarcasm depends on your level of stupidity. My level of sarcasm depends upon your level of stupidity. And that kind of pretty much identifies Eric and what he's all about. So there you go, Eric. Good luck in 2022 with all that. Okay. Now, what about Anthony Curdy? You know, Anthony had a very difficult year doing a lot of virtual court at home. And he's got 3 little babies at home. And he was always torn between doing the virtual court and having a baby that needs to be fed. So he's being pulled in 2 different directions. So Santa wanted to look for something special for him that would make his life easier in 2022. And Santa was able to find for Anthony the famous crib dribbler feeding system. Okay, this is a device that you attach to the crib so the baby can feed itself when he's hungry, he or she is hungry, and Anthony doesn't have to get up from the virtual court appearance that he's doing. So this is the famous crib dribbler for Anthony, and highly recommended. It was developed by the same inventor that invented the hamster wheel, so you know it's a workable system. So good luck in 2022, Anthony. That is for you. And finally, Chris Sevier had another interesting 2021. He and his fiancée were hard at work renovating their house, in addition to all the legal work that he had to do. And they're pretty much getting toward the end of the renovation. The house will be all set up. And Santa wanted to get something special for Chris because of that work that he did renovating the house. Santa was looking for one of those guest books that they have that you put on your front hall so that when your friends come in, they can sign in and make comments about what a wonderful job you did in the renovation. And Santa looked very hard for one of those large leather-bound and gold embossed guest book to put on in your front hall. But unfortunately, because of the supply chain issues that we had during 2001, Santa could not find a book like that for you. But that didn't stop Santa. Santa continued looking, and I was able to find a guest book for your new home, Chris, and it's this one. It's one for the bathroom. It's called I Pooped. It's a bathroom guest book that you can leave in the bathroom of your newly renovated home, and your guests can come in and write down their names and their thoughts about everything you've done, and apparently everything they've done as well while they're visiting you in the bathroom. So that's for you for 2022, for you and your fiancé, Chris. I think you'll find it quite a beautiful addition to the home. And incidentally, if anyone is looking for a housewarming gift for Brian Conway, Santa would highly recommend this book for his new home as well. And that pretty much concludes the presentation of the gifts for legal aid for Christmas of 2021. The only thing remaining is the presentation of the Employee of the Year Award. And for 2021, Santa is awarding the Employee of the Year to the entire support staff. This goes to the entire support staff, and that includes Sal as well, for everything that they did, showing their compassion and support for their coworker in her time of need. Very impressive that everyone jumped in immediately to help out, because we cared so much about our coworker. It's a great testimonial to the office, and it shows why working at Legal Aid is such a great job, such a great place to work. Everyone has respect and concern for everyone else and treats them accordingly. So that is for the entire support staff for everything they did in 2021. And you should be proud. Santa is proud and happy to make that award to you. So with that, Santa is going to sign off for 2021 in the hope that things in 2022 will be better. Everyone will stay safe and healthy. And perhaps next holiday season, we can have our holiday gathering again where Santa will appear in person to present these gifts. So for now, so long, be happy, be healthy, and have a wonderful 2022, everyone. So long now.